Hi everybody, I have a new album to share today. This was actually an idea from someone I met at a craft show and I really loved it, so I can't wait to share this with you. This was a challenge though because I didn't have, like, you know how they have like curated paper packs, you know, and obviously if you've seen any of my other videos, like a baby paper pack, which makes making an album very easy because they kind of cater the parts to, making albums. Well, this was just paper that I had, and it didn't have any of the ephemera. It didn't have any of the things. So I kind of had to make up a lot of this as I went, which was a challenge, but it was a fun challenge. So this is going to someone who is giving this to a friend who is leaving their church. So it does have a religious theme to it. But you could make this in any, pattern or theme that you wanted. This is just shy of a 5x7. All of these are held down by removable adhesive. So this actually pops out. So when she gets this album, she can just remove all these white pieces and replace them with her photos. And I really like how this pops in here and becomes part of the cover. So I thought, because she's giving this to a dear friend, that this could be like a group picture of her and her friends, or they all attend the same church. You could put a picture of the church on the front, whatever she wants to do. But I just thought that was a really great, I love how it is incorporated into the cover element. Because this is also religious, the reason I gravitated towards this paper, it reminds me of stained glass. It has like, you know how that it's divided into, like, this would be the lead, and then it just has a very cool stained glass look. So I thought that was also kind of churchy. And then I found these butterflies in my stash of things, and I used them to accent throughout, and I really like how it all turned out. So hopefully you do too. So let's get into the meat of it. When you open it up, obviously we have two sections here. Let's do this side first. First off, we have a little hidden pocket here, and this holds a 4x6 on each side. And I just like that they can kind of tuck photos in everywhere. This holds a ton of photos, which is also really nice. So part of this is that they're going to write messages. So some of these are going to be photos for them, and some of them are going to be messages to the person leaving. And this is kind of a neat little element too. So I thought, like, you put a photo and then they could put messages. They could put messages on these, or they could put photos. And again, all these lift up because they're on with temporary adhesive. So that works out really well. And then I incorporated a lot of like religious elements in here as well. So again, any of these can be photos or messages, however she sees and fit to organize it, this. So just lots of ways to put this together. All of the elements that are here are not really glued down. Like, she could get this up and then put that back under the wing of the butterfly. So there's several photos that are kind of in this one little element here. And then this opens up here, and then there's this little pocket. Now, the one thing I wish, I made this a little bit thinner. You really have to get that in there to get it to stick down. But again, I love this paper. It has that stained glass element to it. But I made these because I really liked that she could pass these around, or, photos. She could put, people can write little messages. She can make this whole thing where people can sign like a big card. And then these can tuck in here like so. There's a 4x4, and then I put a hidden tag, which has two 4x4s, so people want to hide their messages. So this would be a great place for a picture, and this would be a place for messages if she wanted. So whatever, again, whatever she wants or whatever she sees fit for her, her friends and family in this church. And then I just love this layout. So I color block this all off. Again, all these pop up. Everything that's white pops up. Get my finger under here. You want to pull them off so they don't pop off. And then these also slip out. So when she's done, I do recommend that you take some glue. I like this. I picked this up at Walmart. Works really well. Just put some glue under here and then tack that down so they don't lift up anymore. And then you can write a message in there, or you can put a photo in there. Probably a message would be real easy to stick in there, but whatever you want to do. And then this flap opens up as well. And we have another photo collage put together in here. And then I didn't put anything on these little flaps here, but if you need additional space, you could put 2x2s so you can get additional messages. So I'm not exactly sure how many she has. I also have another photo book hidden in this little pocket here. And again, it's that same idea. And then you just have to make sure it's all the way in so it's not hindering the way the book closes. And there you go. And then on this side, I have a little magnet that keeps this closed, but this opens up, concertina's out, I love that word. And then we have another little photo collage. Again, any of these can be pictures or sayings. And then here on the other side, it flips out and you have another spread. Again, this is open. Here, again, it would be easier to write a message in here than trying to get a little photo, but whatever you want to do. Sometimes you have little photos too, so it just depends on what you're looking at. So then that opens up, so you have that. So then this, I guess it's easier to leave this open here. We have these two little, I put this little pocket here. I don't know why, I just thought it was cute. I'll put some additional glue there. And then I just made these little booklets. So this one here, I did glue down. It is actually pattern paper. I was gonna put a message here, but I decided against it because she might need more room to write, or she could put a photo here. But this one is actually glued down. But these are white and they're on repositionable. So photo, photo, and then I did the same thing here. This one's glued down, photo, photo, and then they kind of just stick in here. And I just thought they added like a pop of color. And then this is a flap that opens, but in here is a little pocket. And I made, again, a bigger booklet. And I love, this is one of my favorite ones. I love this paper. And this holds some 5x7s. You do not have to keep this as 5x7s. If you want to put like, I showed a smaller way to color block this on the back. So if you have smaller photos, or if you want to put, you know, a photo here and messages, you can break this up any way you want. But I did want to give you a place to put some larger photos in case you had it. You know, like group pictures from things, you know, whatever. So that gives you a place to put some bigger photos. And then this just fits here inside that pocket. We have, let me close this up a little bit, get over here. And then we have another one in this pocket. This is slightly smaller. We have a 4x6 here. And this one's slightly smaller than this one. But you could just shave a little bit off your 5x7s. But you have another way to add some photos. And then the inside of this one has two 4x6s. And then I left this pocket. Now, if you don't like these in here, you could obviously put these here. But the reason I left this pocket here is I thought you might have some messages or maybe letters or whatever that people have given. Maybe a couple memorabilia things that from church. Maybe you wanted to put the logo from church. You could obviously put, and of course I don't have, but you could put a 4x6 here. You might be able to fit a 5x7 here in the background if you wanted to stick another photo. But I wanted you to have a place where you could stick a couple things that you wanted to, if you did. But if you didn't, you could probably, no one would probably even notice that that's a pocket. So if you wanted to get that out of there and you wanted to stick these or those smaller booklets in here, these do fit. And then this would close up a little bit easier. That's your choice. I built this so you could put these here. You just have to wiggle. You know what? I think it's better to put the edges in. There we go. Of the book. So, what I mean the edges, these parts here, I think it just stays closed a little bit nicer so they're not flopping around. And then this one closes, and then this keeps that closed, and then you can't see any of those pockets. This does open up one more time. You have some photo opportunities here, and I gave you another tag for some writing opportunities here, and then another photo collage and another photo collage here. And again, this is open as well, so you can, you know, write or stick a photo in there. Just glue those down when you're all done so that they don't go anywhere. And again, if you need more additional space, you can glue things here, but I figured at this point you might be spaced out, so I thought those were just pretty the way they are. So that is a tour of the book. I love it. I hope you do too. This is the back. Again, that stained glass. I wanted to carry that throughout the theme. And I would love to hear your feedback and see what you guys are thinking. And I'll see you guys in the next crafty video. Thanks guys for watching.